You are listening to the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast, and of course, our friends over at the Glebe Central Pub. You guys know that the Glebe Central Pub is our pub in the nation's capital, in the heart of the Glebe, 779 Bank Street. Go check out their website to see when you can get on the Sens shuttle to Sens home games at the CTC. Only $17 round trip. Best deal around, and it gets Sens fans to Sens games. We love to see it. I'm Brandon Piller, joined by Jack Richardson after a 3-2 Ottawa Senators victory over the Columbus Blue Jackets at home at the Canadian Tire Center. Jack, here we are, another win under our belt, a big one at that. Hockey night in Canada. How you feeling, buddy?
It's a Saturday night, Pilsy. The Sens are rolling 8 points up in the wild card race now. Doesn't get much better than this. There's one place I'd rather be tonight than in Brockville. I love it here in Brockville. I'd rather be at the GCP after a Sens win like that. I can't imagine coming back from that building on the 417 right now. So just a lot to get into. Again, they made us sweat it out a little bit at the end there, Pilsy, but a win's a win. We've been saying that for every win lately, especially down the stretch. 10-3-1 in March with another game to go tomorrow. So impressed with the Ottawa Senators lately, and I can taste it, Pillsy. I can taste it.
Yeah, it's a sweet flavor too. One we haven't tasted since 2017. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet, Jack. Let's revel in the moment right now. 3-2 Ottawa Senators win in regulation. Mind you, that's a big part of this. Columbus, a team right behind the Senators, nipping on their heels in that second wild card spot. They'll have an opportunity to play the Ottawa Senators 2 more times, once at home in Columbus and then once right back at the CTC. But it's good to get the first one out of the way. Was this one you came into, Jack, feeling very confident, or did the Columbus Blue Jackets kind of making up some ground? Did that make you, not, I don't want to say nervous, but I guess wary of a team that's battling and hungry for a spot?
I'd say more than anything, it made me kind of lock in a little bit more for the game, if that makes sense. And I'd imagine it was the same for the team because, like you said, they did fall off a little bit recently, and they're not on a great stretch overall in March if you look at it. But you know, what they came off of last night in their big comeback win. I mean, they referenced it like 9 times on the broadcast tonight, but it was a crazy game last night. We were watching for our out-of-town scoreboard. But yeah, I'd say because of their win last night, it was a bit more like, okay, listen, if you lose this one in regulation, all of a sudden it's 4-point lead, and Columbus, there's 2 more games against them, 1 in Columbus. So I'd say that this one was circled a bit more than maybe the next 2 because in February, January, we all looked at these 3 games as big ones down the stretch, right? 3 games in 11 days. And at the time they were both wild card teams. They still are tonight. But yeah, so I'd say coming in, it was a bit more of a, okay, like let's make sure that they get the win here and not just it's another game in March. They got home ice, whatever it is. Even though Columbus played last night, I still think the Sens came out with that same kind of energy.
Yeah, I think the energy was great. I don't really have a lot of negatives for this game, Jack, which is a nice, refreshing change of pace for us. And when it's a big game and you need those points, there's no one that combines points with wins better than Shane Pinto. I mean, my God, Jack, you've got the stats for the Shane Pinto numbers. I'll let you read those off in a second, courtesy of the LOSP stats department. But shout out, stick taps to Shane Pinto in his 200th NHL game with 2 assists tonight. Gets his 100th NHL point. Shane Pinto points and Ottawa Senators wins go together as good as rum and cokes, in my opinion. Jack, read off those stats for us.
Yeah, so Shane Pinto, for those who aren't familiar, when he has a point, the Sens do very well. So this season, they're now 21-1. That's 20 wins, 1 regulation loss, and 1 overtime loss when Shane Pinto has a point. Overall, in his career, in his 200 NHL games, Pilsy, they are 59-11-7 when Shane Pinto has a point. When he has 2 points, like he did tonight as well, 13-2-3 overall in his career and 6-0-1 this season. What a great game. What a great time for Shane Pinto. I've started to do this now. It's my new thing in the last couple of games. Put a little feeler on Twitter, morning of, say it's this guy's night. I did it 2 games ago with Fabian Zetterlund. He got an assist. Tim Stützle, I did the same thing. He scored. Today, Shane Pinto was my guy. Listen, If you check the game tape, I said he would score. He didn't score, but 2 primary assists is the next best thing to scoring. So him getting off that pointless drought, it was 6 games without a point. And I think something with Shane Pinto too, he was taking off that power play with Zetterlund and Perron now clicking. He's not seeing any power play time, but he's that kind of player you need to be productive at even strength. And his 2 plays tonight, I mean, he starts it all with that nice breakout pass to Chabot, takes a hit to make a play.
Yeah, and I thought his other assist where he does a little pass off the pads there was a great play as well. And Jack, I'm glad your predictions are positive for the Sens, because my lookout players have now scored against the Ottawa Senators 3 games in a row. And hey, like, what do you want me to do? I got to pick a guy. I'm trying to pick a player I think the Senators and Sens fans need to look out for. So Travis Green, you want any free tips? Tune into the Locked On Senators podcast, and I'll let you know which guys you got to look out for. But maybe I think I'm going to change up the trend for my next lookout player so that we don't have to deal with another guy scoring on us. But we'll get to that later on. Yeah, as we mentioned, Shane Pinto with 2 assists in this one, 2 primary assists, might I add. And he was a big reason why the Ottawa Senators were able to get a win here. And I really liked that, as I mentioned, Pinto rushing down the wing, pass off the pad, and then Jake Sanderson using his skating to get to the net and bank it in there. Like, talk about Shane Pinto, but we got to give stick taps to Jake Sanderson as well. I mean, this guy has been so good, obviously defensively, the way we know he can be, but he has stepped up his offensive game to a whole nother level, Jack.
I thought it was so poetic, and they highlighted it on the broadcast. Shout out, by the way, shout out Hockey Night in Canada. I know we don't do that often as Sens fans, but it was a big night. They were the focus for the most of the night by the broadcast and by the panel. So when it happened, stick taps to the panel.
Yes,
getting Kyle Bukauskas on the Sens game too,
Yep.
in his home barn, what was pretty special. So they did a great job, and I thought that highlighting what Sanderson said today pregame about Zach Werenski was pretty poetic, because Sanderson blows by Werenski to score that goal. That defensive awareness that Werenski didn't have, Sanderson was jumping up in the rush there. And listen, it's not even a knock on Werenski himself. It's just Sanderson has that element of his game now. We've talked about it a lot here, but I think the rest of the league is starting to take notice a little bit, because Jake Sanderson is an offensive threat, and knowing when to go to the net, like when you're driving net, you just beeline hard to the far post and it hits him and goes in. It's Tristan Jarry's worst nightmare there. It's a play they got to get out of hockey, but it's a good goal. It stands. And usually with Jake Sanderson, when he's joining the rush, it's more creating plays and not really finishing them necessarily. So it was nice to see that one. And you're right, off a shot pass from Shane Pinto, my favorite kind of play, because you get a free assist when it happens. But when Sanderson adds that element at even strength, it makes this team so dangerous, Pillsy. Like it's a lot of fun to watch. He's got that extra gear in him. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think they did a really good job knowing they have a game in less than 24 hours, that they limited minutes for the most part. Maybe it got a bit dicey there in the third period when the lead shrunk, but I thought that Sanderson had a lot of legs in the third and the second because they didn't run him into the ground in the first period.
Yeah, I mean, he did end up playing the most of any Sens defenseman. I mean, barely 2 seconds more than Thomas Chabot at 22:49. But let's be honest here, Jack, 22:49, that's a light day at work for Jake Sanderson.
Yeah, and if it's only a few seconds more than the next guy, and the next guy is a guy he's changing with, Chabot, that's a great sign. And it's not that we're trying to limit Sanderson's minutes, because I remember when Chabot was playing too much, it was you need to limit his minutes because it's bad when he plays so much because of the mistakes he was making. But for this, it's just let's do some load management here. Like, you're up, you got the lead, you're in control of the game.
And there is a back-to-back game tomorrow with travel, so it's good to be conscious of that.
And at this point in the season, when you've got back-to-backs like that, you got to ride the bottom pair, who I thought was great tonight too, Clevin and Matson Paolo. Surprise, surprise. But I think that's important to note going into tomorrow. Who knows when they're going to get out of there, because it's some pretty messed up weather in the Eastern Ontario region today. So hopefully they're able to fly in okay and whatever. I'm sure they'll be all right. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, Pillsy. That's for tomorrow's postcast. Tonight's a vibecast, because they just beat the Columbus Blue Jackets in a big game for the Ottawa Senators. Just that much separation, 8-point lead with 10 games to go in the wildcard race.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. We love to see the Ottawa Senators succeed. And If there's anyone in the chat right now that is having a good time at the GCP, let us know. You guys know the Postcast is brought to you by the Glebe Central Pub. We couldn't do it without their support. And we love the GCP in the heart of the Glebe, 779 Bank Street. You guys know whenever we're in Ottawa, if people are like, oh, I hope we can bump into Ross and Pilsy somehow when they're in Ottawa, well, just hang out at the Glebe Central Pub and you've got a good chance of doing that because we're always there. Great food, great drinks. The servers, bartenders, the owner, Blair, all absolute beauties. They love Sens fans. Go to the website. Check out when the Sens shuttle is running. Sue, the bus driver, will take you from the pub to the game, from the game back to the pub to keep the vibes going, and $17 round trip. You can't beat that in today's economy. So make sure you go check out our friends over at the Glebe Central Pub, 779 Bank Street. Let them know the Locked On Senators podcast sent you. Grab a pic by the 779 Locked On GCP Sens jersey that's framed and hung up on the wall, and you'll have yourself a good time. So if people are curious, hey, vibes are kind of costly these days. Jack, let the people know, how much are the vibes at the GCP?
Well, you're talking about how reasonable the shuttle back there and back is at $17. The vibes are an even better deal, Pillsy. I think they're free, is what I'm hearing.
The vibes are free. You heard it from CTV, Brockville reporter Jack Richardson on the scene, reporting that the vibes are in fact free at the GCP. So go check out the Glebe Central Pub, guys. This episode is also brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. You guys know that FanDuel is the official online sportsbook of the Locked On Podcast Network. Anytime I go to bet on Ottawa Senators game, you know I'm doing it on FanDuel. And if you're into March Madness, FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks to use from everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down the nets when it's all over. I got my eye on some underdogs this year or some favorites. It's been a bit of a chalk bracket. The favorites making their way along, and it's easy to back either one of them with spreads, totals, and game props. Tournament games have been happening all the time, so there's always something exciting to bet on. The FanDuel app is simple to use, easy to navigate when you want to get your bets in timely fashion. And when you win, you get paid instantly. Those green numbers and trophies hitting your account real fast. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoops action all tournament long and Ottawa Senators action for the rest of the season and beyond, possibly. Check it out today, guys. It's FanDuel.com. All right, here we go. Brandon Piller joined by Jack Richardson. We don't get to do a lot of wins, but we're covering a win right now, a 3-2 win over the Columbus Blue Jackets, your Ottawa Senators at the CTC. We're going to have a 2-for-1 boots on the ground report from our guys, Nick Spence and Ali. I'm going to send them the link here, and we will be joined by them shortly. Jack, what for you was the biggest moment of the game, or where did this game really make its mark for the Ottawa Senators to get the win here?
I'll honestly just point to in a 3-2 game, like it's kind of easy to just look at one of the goals and say those were the ones. But I think that Drake Batherson's goal in the first period off that play from Dylan Cousins, man, like we have talked a lot about Dylan Cousins on the Postcast. You guys have talked a lot about Dylan Cousins on Locked On Senators every day. But there's a reason why we don't just talk to talk. Like Dylan Cousins has been outstanding. And we talked about how he's just revived Drake Batherson's season, who had a great start and really trailed off midseason. But to me, it's not just the fact that Batherson looks like he's more awake now. It's unlocking the best parts of his game. And because Cousins is so good on the wall, so good in the corners and stuff, as good as Perron and Batherson, it frees up the front of the net for Drake Batherson to use his hands like he did on his goal tonight. So to me, that's where it turned, because Columbus answered right away after Ridley Gregg's goal. And the fact that the Sens were able to kind of just roll through, get the lead into the first period and just hold that lead. I don't know if, obviously I mentioned the broadcast before, they were pointing out some stats from Columbus, but they have not led at all in the last month. I think it's like 20 seconds they've had the lead. And last night was it. It was it. Like in their last 10 games, something like that. So being able to take the lead back after losing it that quickly was really impressive to me. So that's my point. That's my point where it turned, because I think from then on, the Sens dominated. And I know that Columbus pushed at the end of the game. That's going to happen. But Batherson, his goal just really set the tone for me.
Yep, I agree. That line has been so clutch. Perron, Cousins, Batherson. So we're loving it. And we're loving anytime we can get our boots on the ground report, especially when it's from friends of the show. Here we are. There we go. It's a combination. Land of the Rising Whiskey.
We're on, guys. Let's go!
There we go.
Yeah!
They're bringing the energy. They got the glasses on. Nick, I'll start with you. How you feeling after this win, buddy?
We are feeling great, Pilsy. Good to see you guys. I figured tonight was the night to do a boots on the ground. I got Land of the Rising Sens over here throwing popcorn at me.
There we
go. My guy. Great vibe in the building tonight. I know Jack is curious about what the energy was like in the CTC, and the energy was electric. We've also got Amos back here, if you know, on Twitter. And we got my wife, Julia's back here somewhere. She's hiding. She's hiding. She doesn't want to talk to anyone, but she's here too. It was great, guys. This is amazing. We're going to the playoffs. I'm jinxing it right now. No, I'm jinxing it right now. We're going to the playoffs. As soon as we chanted we want playoffs, the other team scored. But other than that, things are good.
There's everybody else.
Oh, we got a little bit of light. Yeah, we got light. We got light now.
We got a little bit of light just to show you guys who's everybody in here. But I've lost my voice again. I'm sorry. I don't know why. Can you guess why? I don't know.
The vibes were amazing in the first level, man.
So that I was going to ask you guys about the We Want Playoffs chant, because I noticed that right when they started, that's when Marchenko scored. But Nick, you hit on it. I want to know about the energy in the building. Every time I watch a Sens game from home, I'm jealous. I got FOMO. I want to be in the crowd at the CTC. Just tell me everything you can about what the vibe was like on the ground there, because it sounded like it through the broadcast, and that's when you know that that's a jumping building.
So the first thing is, Jack, you got to get up here from Belleville every single game. I don't know what you're doing. It's not that long a drive. I feel like you need to be in the building for that energy, man. And I know for the playoffs, Pilsy's going to be up here. I know Pilsy's getting his kayak out or canoe or whatever water dirigible. Yes, he's paddling. Jack, just get up here, man. You're on CTV News every night. I know you're in Ottawa. I've seen you, man. You're talking to people. You're doing a great job. The vibe in the building is so good right now. It's been 7 years, 8 years. Oh, yeah. It's been a long damn time since it felt so good. People are chanting. People are screaming. Guys all around me are like, hey, are you that guy that was on the Postcast the other night? I'm like, oh, my God, how the hell do you even know that? It's weird.
You're you,
dude. Yeah. Everyone's in a great mood. We're right there. Like, I don't know. I got to go do my math at home when I get back, but I think the magic number's down to like 6 wins. We're right there.
All right. So just FYI, Jack, Amos is in the back, and of course, if any of the diehard fans have been around, man, they've heard her on Team 1200. Amos always has a little bit to say about it. Amy, you got anything else to add there?
Go Sens, go!
Wise words.
Yeah. That's Team Amos right there.
That was mild.
No, I like it. Ali, I'll throw this one to you. Who is your Sens Central standout of the night, my friend?
Oh, well, I tell you, I think, man, I got to go with Greg. Ridley was everywhere. He was trying so hard, man. Like, I mean, it's in person, it was just something. You know, of course, the usual stalwarts like Stützle. I don't know, man. That guy wants to do everything every night. Like, he is always impressive, but you gotta sometimes recognize the ones they're the grinders, you know, like the ones that you love to see them do good. And tonight, he was a standout.
Fucking Shabbat was in one tonight, man.
Chabby too.
Holy fuck, Shabbat.
Yeah, he was solid. Julie, you got a Sens Central standout for us?
Julia, who you? Fuck, she stole my guy.
Okay, you can.
Sorry, we're not allowed to swear on the Postcast, but she literally stole Zub from me.
I'll say Ullmark then.
You said Zub already.
No, you say Zub.
There's no bad picks, guys.
One second.
She's so nice. Oh yeah, we were loud.
Oh guys, I went to get a drink during the second period while they were scraping the ice. and I'm walking through the friggin' concourse, and all I can hear is Allie screaming, "Go Sens, go!" He's so loud. Allie, tell him.
Yeah, man. I had another guy tell me that I kind of blasted his eardrums. He was in front of me, and I said, "I'm sorry, man. I should have given you a heads up because there is literally a guy, but typically I think, he's usually in a Bruins jersey, which initially first time, yeah, man. The first time I saw him, I was like, what up with that? But I think the guy just he's a fan. And he is,
I think we should break his knees.
No, dude. Like, come on, let me just finish here. So he wears headphones, which like earmuffs. So obviously there's some maybe some neurodivergence going on, whatever the case may be. But yeah, but even him, he turns around and he high fives me. So I'm like, I'm cool with that, right? But I yell because I mean you gotta yell, man. I mean we're too government townish, in a sense. But I can get people going. And I tell you twice at least. I got with my chance. I got the whole thing started.
Well, we got more people. We got more people here.
Amos is leaving.
Bye.
All right, see ya. All right.
This is the whole thing, guys.
But Jack, it was a hell of a night again today. And you know what? These vibes, like we're talking about these, like it's literally, we heard Cyril Leader talking about it.
Suck!
That's Amos right there.
Amos is in one.
But how we heard.
Sorry, guys. This is going off the rails quick. This is gonna. I hope people in the chat aren't too upset. This is going off the rails.
Sorry. We're still in the parking lot. We've got probably about a group of 6 of us out here, 7 of us, and we're
Yes, that's an important part. An important part of this is we are not currently driving.
Yes, we are parked.
No. I haven't drank in a while. I'm going to be the one driving, but I can't be held responsible for everybody else's comments. But listen, just to go back, Jack, the vibes that are in the barn right now, man, it is absolutely unreal. And we can all feel it in our in the air. You can just sense that vibe that will happen. Knock on wood when we make it. Back in the day, when I was talking to the boys, and I say back in the day because it was early on the season when I came on with the boys, and they asked me what are the chances for us to make the playoffs, and I mean I went out.
You said 100%, dude.
Oh, I said 1,000,000%.
1,000,000%. That's more than 100%.
Anyway, I stick with it, but that's the vibe right now.
Electric.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let somebody else say something.
Yeah, no, my wife has never been to a playoff game, and she is so hyped to get to one.
Really, really hoping.
She needs it. Yeah. She needs to see a playoff game.
They're close.
She doesn't know.
We'll see.
We're getting there. We're getting there, boys.
One more question for all of you. Can we get a go Sens go from all of you? I think we lost Pilsy there for a second, but we
lost Pilsy. Pilsy's
we're all right. But can I get a go Sens go from all of you? With the glasses look great, guys. Okay, so can I give on 3? Go countdown from 3, and then a go Sens go.
Let's go.
Okay, 1,
3, 2, 1. Go Sens go! Woo! Let's go! Let's go!
That was great, guys. And I gotta be honest here. I don't think I can take you guys out or keep you guys in.
Wait. I can fill in for Pilsy for a little bit. Anyway, so this is the Glebe Central Pub. Have you guys been to the Glebe Central Pub? The vibes are free. The vibes are free. Time. They're immaculate. You get on the Sens shuttle for $17. They take you to and from the arena. You get there So last time the boys were in town, me and my wife, we literally took an Uber because we wanted that bobblehead. The boys got there in time to get a bobblehead, and I looked like a friggin' moron. What am I doing? What am I doing? What are you doing, guys?
Hey, Jack, my Julie is in the back too now.
Yes, we've also got Land of the Rising Sens. She's
Leafs do suck.
The Leafs are not even playing tonight, guys.
I don't care.
Jack, I'm so sorry.
This is great, guys.
Jack's media training is paying off in spades right now.
This is uncharted territory here. I've never been alone on the Postcast before, so it's great to have.
No, I don't think you've ever been main host.
No, I haven't. So we're on the off the rails here a little bit while we wait for Pilsy, but he'll come back, and it's a good thing it's a vibe cast, because if it was a vent cast, we wouldn't be doing so hot here. So we got Pilsy. I think he's just joining back in here now.
Jack, I just say the variable is that Nick is doing that with me and Julie, and Nick,
sorry.
we could tell you otherwise what the factor that we bring in, but I tell you, brother,
We're big Sens fans.
Jack.
Let's go.
Jack, I'm so sorry for this.
Don't say sorry. Hey, you guys are good. You guys are good. It's good. It's actually, I think it's better that you guys
This
are
is
here.
brutal, dude.
Don't worry, this is great. So actually, we got Pilsy there on the phone. I think something happened with
Oh my God, Pilsey's in the field. He's lost. Aliens have abducted Pilsey.
Nick will get you. Nick will get you guys to one more time. Go Sens go, and then Pilsy and I'll land this plane a little bit. So
all right,
nice.
Can I get a go Sens go with all of you in the frame here?
All right,
go Sens go!
All right, what a boots on the ground report, Pilsy. That was I didn't expect you to do that with there, but we're good. We're back. Pilsy's back. It happens sometimes. I'm assuming the ice storm might have hit you there, Pills.
Yeah, this is crazy, Jack. I can't believe that happened. Sorry that you had to steer the ship alone there. Power went out. It was very surprising. It had been flickering a little, but it hadn't happened in a couple hours. So I was like, hey, it's going to be good. And then just boom, it's gone. As you guys can see, it's complete darkness here. I got the light from my laptop shining here. Hopefully my phone internet keeps going. But just like the Ottawa Senators, Jack, we don't quit here on the Postcast. We find ways to get it done. Thank you to Nick, Ali, everyone in that vehicle for bringing the vibes. And I'm back. So let's get to our own Sens Central standouts here, Jack. I'm going to start things off if you don't mind. I'm going to I'm back now. Okay.
Oh, there we go. I heard everything going off too. That's great. This is a good time to mention, Pilsy, just as you're getting set here. Good time to mention, like, I hope everyone in the Ottawa area stays safe. It's a little bit dicey out there today with all the freezing rain. Tomorrow is going to be a mess. So people get home from the CTC safe tonight. And obviously, as you see from Pilsy, I mean, you're up in the Blue Mountains, Pills, and the power's going out. That's I figured that's what kind of happened. But yeah, I mean, we're good here. We're back, and we're ready to go for the Sens Central standouts.
Well, Jack, maybe I'll just join as a guest from my computer. So maybe why don't you hit your Sens Central standout? I'll pop up from my guest spot here, and I'll go back into the host spot through my laptop. All right?
Sounds good, because I don't think we'd be able to end the stream either way. It would be an all-night stream. So. Yeah. Okay, so I'll go with my Sens Central standout here. We're going to go for a Jack cast here momentarily. I think, guys, there's a lot of places we could go with this one, right? Like I tweeted out that I don't know what line looked the best. The D pairs have been great. We could talk about Jake Sanderson. I'll talk about Jake Sanderson any day of the week. But to me, I got to go with Shane Pinto, because Shane Pinto was a stud tonight. I think when the Sens have Stützle and Dylan Cousins, and then Shane Pinto can come in and be a force, that Tkachuk, Pinto, Greg line is a problem for other teams. And if you have Shane Pinto cooking at even strength like that, that's a bit of an issue for other teams, like I mentioned. So I'm going to go with Shane Pinto. Like there's so many guys we can mention. Like I think that what I like so much about Pinto's game lately, though, is especially, I think, since when Dylan Cousins came into the mix, Pinto, Pilsy, I was talking about Shane Pinto a little bit. Like, I'm a little bit aware of maybe the grand scheme, the big picture, right? He's on a short-term contract. They trade Norris, and when you trade Norris, you think in your head, okay, Shane Pinto is going to get promoted, and this is his second-line spot to lose now. But they bring in a guy like Dylan Cousins. It's also now Pinto's still the third-line center, right? So I'm just talking about how impressed I am with Shane Pinto. He loses his power play time, has a bit of a pointless drought, but he was outstanding tonight. And when you're on home ice, like the Sens will be for basically the next month, you need a guy like Shane Pinto to deliver in his minutes, because he'll get great matchups, and him with Tkachuk and Greg is just one of my favorite lines to watch right now.
Yeah, what a blessing to have Brady Tkachuk on the third line and to have them be able to play like that, and your top six still to have enough firepower to be successful. So that's a great one. Jack, obviously Shane Pinto, stick taps, 100th point in his 200th game. You like those nice even numbers. That's always good as well. So I'm glad you didn't take my guy, although Shane Pinto is a very good one. I'm going to go #goalie friendly show. Linus Ullmark. I know there's some Sens fans that feel like they're not fully able to trust Linus Ullmark yet, but I trust the guy in big moments. I feel like he's able to shut it down. We've seen it in the last couple stretch here, especially in March. We saw it early in the season. When this guy's on his game, he is incredible. He's a former Vezina Trophy winner for a reason. He finishes tonight with 29 saves on 31 shots, good for a .935 save percentage, and he had to make some big saves down the stretch. I really liked his ability to track the puck and get rebounds. I thought, honestly, one of his biggest saves, it didn't look that great, but if you're a goalie, you'll know this. It was in the third period, and Provorov got it over on the side, and he glides in, and he shoots one, and Ullmark has to save it and wedge his arm in and hold it and wait. Uh-oh, we got flickering here. We'll see if I stay on.
I'm ready, Pills. Yeah, I'm locked in. Don't worry, man. I'm ready to go now.
I'm glad we got to hear Jack. But he does the chicken wing, holds the puck and holds it, doesn't freak out, doesn't move around, doesn't let it escape him. And then right before that, he made a huge save on Fantilli all alone in front. Chabot had a bit of a pizza up the middle, and he just did a quick backhander, and Ullmark was there with the blocker. I really liked Ullmark's game tonight. He even had not a save, but did you see... Was it on the power play? I don't know when it was, but he had the puck outside of his crease, and then he did a long chip pass, and Chabot and another guy thought that pass was for them, and they tried to knock it down, but Ullmark's like, no, don't touch it, and it goes right to Ridley Gregg, and that created a great offensive opportunity. I thought Linus Ullmark was fantastic tonight, so he will be my Sens Central standout.
Pillsy, I don't want to get dramatic, but it's the vibe cast. I'll do it. I think that was one of Ullmark's best games of the year, because I know he didn't let it. The goals that were in on him, maybe you could look at, but being part of this goalie friendly show now, I have a sense of you can't just look at a bad goal here or there to say a goalie played well or not. We should know that better than at this point for Linus Ullmark, because that one by Marchenko, it slipped by him, right? You want him to have it maybe, but I think what is most impressive about Linus Ullmark, and I think we might have lost Pilsy again. He's a little bit frozen. This is a freezing rain cast right now, or a storm cast. It's crazy in Ontario today. But we got Pilsy again coming in. This is bananas. What's going on here? This is a crazy postcast. We had two Pilsies there for a second. Pilsy, I was just saying that Ullmark, what's so crazy about his game is the way he's able to lock in when they have the lead. We've talked about it before. He just, it's so impressive to me. And I really do think that was one of his better performances, because I think they had 18 shots by the 6-7 minute mark, and he finishes with 30 saves. He was outstanding tonight. He truly makes this team one that I'm confident saying, hey, listen, let's get to the playoffs, see who they're playing, maybe the matchup, see how they do on the road. But when Ullmark is playing this way, I don't think that they can't beat any team. They are good against any other team in the NHL with Ullmark playing like this.
I'm confident. People in the chat are saying there's two of me. Is that still happening, Jack?
I don't think so, no. But when you came back in there was a frozen Pilsy. So there's a screenshot out there somewhere with two Pilsies and one Jack. So this has been an all-time cast, because when we lost you, that was an all-time boots on the ground report too. That I think we should talk about. That was vibes. And I wanted to say after, when we wrapped up, I can't imagine the postcast and the vibes when the Sens clinch a playoff spot. I've started to think about that the last couple of days, just what we're going to feel like, what's it going to look like. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So I think we can snap it around a couple times. There's just two of us. We can name a few other players, Pilsy. So who's your next Sens Central standout?
All right. Well, if you're snapping it to me, Jack, I'm going to go with Ridley Gregg. A goal and an assist. I thought this was a Ridley Gregg masterclass, in my opinion. And I'm just trying to find my note on the assist he had here. Yeah, the assist I thought was great. Brady flipped it up, and Ridley Gregg's in the neutral zone. And what a heads-up, high hockey IQ play. He chips it off the boards, perfectly timed so Pinto can pick it up and rush down the wing, and that's when he does the pass off the pad. Sanderson scores the goal. And then for Ridley Gregg's goal, Chabot's in the zone, heads up, sees Ridley Gregg going to the front of the net, and Ridley gets a tip on it, and it beats Tarasov. Like a goal and an assist, playing on a line with Shane Pinto, Brady Tkachuk. He's found success. I love Ridley Gregg's game lately, so Ridley Gregg will be my second Sens Central standout.
just been outstanding since his contract extension in January. And when he's playing with Tkachuk on a line, I think Greg has always had that in his game where he's obviously got a bit of an edge. He's a bit of a pesky player, but I'm starting to see Brady rub off on Greg. Like, he's playing big. He's starting to fill out a little bit more. Maybe we got to remember this guy's, I think, he's still only 22 years old. So he's still very young when it comes to like the rest of the players in the league, but he's not backing down from anyone. I think he's a great pick. He really does make this team complete. He's one of those guys you could look at on like a cup winning team or a playoff team and say, wow, that's a sneaky player on their third line. And oh yeah, he's playing with Tkachuk. So I love that line so much. And I mentioned it that they were together because they, earlier in the year they were together, but no one else could score. So they had to split it up. And now finally the other two lines look great. So you can say, why not throw it together again? I love that line come playoff time. If they can find a way, Pillsy, I like that pick a lot.
All right. Who is your second Sens Central standout?
A lot of ways we could go with this. I'm going to have to go with Drake Batherson. He scores again. I think I'm losing track of the point streaks and the goal streaks and whatever it is. But I just know that since Dylan Cousins has come in, Drake Batherson is back. So I'm going with Drake Batherson. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but just the way he's able to play in front of the net now, he's freed up a little bit. He doesn't have to be the one to go do the dirty work in the corners because he's got Dylan Cousins. And if he's playing that heavy, he's got his feet moving again. That he had a couple drives to the net after he scored already that looked just power forward-esque of Drake Batherson that we saw in the first half of the season. And I'm going to say this, like, hand up here. I'm just going to say this about every forward on this team. If X player plays like this, if Drake Batherson plays like this, the Ottawa Senators are dangerous because he gives them a threat to score on. I said in the Postcast chat that I'm confident the Sens can score with every line going over the boards now. And every player on that line, like, you've got Stützle, Batherson, and Tkachuk each on 3 different lines. It's a nightmare to deal with.
Even Amadio's been finding success on the fourth line.
And that's the thing. Yeah. Like, and Gaudette had a look at it on the breakaway because of a play by Amadio. Like, it's perfect. That meme, like, it's perfect. No touches right now. So the lineup is clicking and you have to make your play, make your line work when you're on it. And I think Batherson's a big reason why that line's been working lately. One of the best in the league since they were put together.
Yep. Everybody knows their role and fits in their spot, in my opinion, right now. So we're going to get to our final thoughts and maybe discussions about a certain P word right after the break. I'm going to tell you guys about one of our newer sponsors. It's 5 Hour Energy. Daylight savings has snuck up on us again. If you're feeling that lost hour of sleep, 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun. But sometimes, let's face it, you need a little boost to power through. Whether you're staying up late watching your Ottawa Senators or watching a Vibecast on Locked On Senators podcast, you're squeezing in a round of golf after work, you're trying to keep up with the busy day, or you got kids running around, 5 Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. I've been staying up late watching all kinds of sports, and 5 Hour Energy helps keep me up the next day. Longer days, and the weather's getting a little bit better. Not right now with the rainstorm and my power going out, but even in bad weather, I like to go outside. There's no such thing as bad weather, just bad preparation. Be prepared. You can enjoy any weather out there. Whether I'm at home or traveling, 5 Hour Energy is easy to grab, and it keeps me refreshed. And I got my favorite flavor right here, blue raspberry. Check it out, 5 Hour Energy. So small, you can fit it in your pocket, put it in your backpack, put it in your car to have when you need it. And you guys know you've seen these everywhere. You can find them in grocery stores, convenience stores, or you can go to their website and get a 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. If you need one now, go get one. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized with 5 Hour Energy. All right, guys, Brandon Piller here with Jack Richardson. My power's still on, so we power on the Locked On Senators podcast postcast right after a 3-2 Ottawa Senators win over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Jack, this is one of those times we got to snap it around a couple Sens Central standouts, probably even more we could give honorable mentions to, but you talked about it. If this guy plays this way, if this guy plays this way, when if and when the Ottawa Senators get to the playoffs, because things are looking good right now, I don't want to jinx it, but 83 points, they're in that first wild card spot. I'm going to head over to moneypuck.com, give it a little refresh here, and the Ottawa Senators, okay, 99.6% chance to make the playoffs. I feel pretty damn good about this right here. Again, not getting ahead of ourselves, just saying we're feeling good. We're saying the stats, 99.6%, only as a 0.04% chance they make it statistically. But Jack, how are you feeling about the possibility of this team making it past the regular season for the first time since 2017?
It's all about game 83, Pillsy. You and I have talked about it. Feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I think it's great that the players have done a good job for all intents and purposes, for what we know of really locking in, tunnel vision. I know they're not thinking about anything beyond Pittsburgh tomorrow. But as fans, we're allowed. We could do it. I've
permission given. Yep.
Hand up here. I've rode the highs and lows like a roller coaster this season, right? It's been fun, but for the most part, it's been all highs. They have never really felt like they were in jeopardy of losing that spot once they were in it. For
once they were in it, November was not kind to us yet again.
And that's the thing. And I think that's what is maybe so impressive. They weathered the storm in November. I was at the game after everything turned around. I was on the shuttle going to from the GCP against
Which
the Canucks.
Game is that you're referencing?
November 23rd against the Canucks. And since then, after Lily Levitan was born, we should point out too, top 10 team in the league since then. But around then is kind of what was rock bottom as a fan, right? You think, here we go again. I think it was 4 or 5 in a row then. Pillsy, since then, it's been the best time as a Sens fan in years. And that's not even being dramatic, obviously, because the bar has been on the floor. So to put into words how I'm feeling right now is hard, because I don't remember how I felt last time the Sens were in this position. It's a lot of fun going to every game and feeling like you're okay. They got a chance to win tonight. They got a chance to make something happen. And hearing that building tonight was special. I wasn't even there. We just talking to Nick and the group there, like, that's special. So I think that's what's really standing out to me, is how incredible this run is going to be when they eventually get that X beside their name. I also think that Sens fans deserve also not having to sweat it out to the end. I know we are in the games, but the fact that they're not in that mix with Montreal, Columbus, New York, and that they're so separated that it's just win your games and you're in. Win a few of your games, win half of your games, 40% of your games, and you're in comfortably. That's what's exciting to me. So I know that I rambled on a little bit there, but it's there's a lot to talk about. And I really do hope we get, like, how nice would it be? Because there's been so many games over the years where game, 75 to 82 meant absolutely nothing in the standings.
Yeah.
How nice would it be if that was still the case this year?
Ooh.
But they had the playoff spot on lock, because they're probably not going to catch anyone in the Atlantic, but they're also probably not going to get caught. So how nice, like, they're in that first wild card spot. They're probably going to finish there. It'd be great to just coast and be able to kind of rest up.
Yep.
Let Ullmark chill, let Kachuk chill, even though he looks fantastic now. It's fun, man. It's just so fun. And I know everyone here is vibing, feeling the same way. How about you, Pillsy? I mean, I've been doing this postcast for a few years off and on, just filling in when we can, a bit more this year, but you guys have been doing a show every day since 2019. And I mean, try and put into words. I know they haven't clinched yet. Nothing's in stone, but 10 games to go, 8-point lead. How are you feeling?
It's surreal. Like, Ross and I started Locked On Senators podcast November 2019. I believe we just finished episode 1,250 or something yesterday, and we have covered no playoff games. We've grinded during the offseason. We covered the draft like crazy. So to be able to possibly cover postseason games, like, Jack, for the first time, usually I'm getting ready to book vacations in May and late April. I'm not doing that. I'm holding off booking vacations. The only place I'm planning on vacationing is the nation's capital in Ottawa, Ontario in April, and maybe some games in Toronto, Florida, or Washington later on. So that's where I'm at right now. I feel great. Let us know in the chat how you guys are feeling. And we got a fun trend on Twitter. Our guy at Snipe and Score tweeted out, let's start a hashtag Go Sens Go trend. tweet out the last time the Sens were in the playoffs, what you looked like. Ross and I did that. It seems like it was forever ago. The pictures are hilarious. So if you guys want to get in on the trend or check it out, go look on Twitter. Yeah, everything just feels good right now. We deserve this. It's been a lot of lows. Steve Staios, Michael Andlauer, Travis Green deserve a lot of credit because I don't think this ship gets turned around if there isn't major shifts in the regime. And that's nothing against the old regime. It's just more a highlight of how good the new people have come in, realize what the problems are, and change the culture the right way, not too quickly, finding the right pieces. Like, I think we all weren't so sure the offseason moves were where they needed to be earlier in the season, Jack, but now you look at it. Ullmark, oh my God, you need that guy. Jensen, he stabilizes Thomas Chabot. David Perron is figuring it out on a line with Dylan Cousins and Drake Batherson. Michael Amadio is becoming a crucial fourth line guy. And then even Zetterlund, he hasn't quite figured it out yet, but he's still a piece that I think adds an important part of your depth and allows you to put a guy like Brady Tkachuk on your third line. So I'm feeling good about this one. Jack, you got anything you want to add before we head to the superstar questions here? We'll read those off as we land this plane.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned just all the regime changes because I know that those don't get taken for granted for Sens fans, but ownership change has changed everything here. So that's such a blanket statement because when you say it's changed everything, there's so much that changes under it, but it's night and day. It's been 3 years since there's been a bit of a shift ownership wise, since the move to sell has happened. It's been just over 3 years. And the experience as a Sens fan alone has been night and day. So going from that to this, and when that whole process was drawn out, I think it was a 10-month sale process with celebrities involved. And you don't know what they would have done with the team. I'm not even going to name the celebrities because there were a few. It wasn't just one. It was
a lot.
Maybe one that Sens fans were excited about, but there were a few, which was so weird, and it drove the price up. And then they take the team, and it takes a while for things to get going under Andlauer, but they picked the right guy because the minute he got here, it was about winning. And this has been their most successful season since 2017. One of the most successful. They're on pace for one of the most successful in franchise history. Pilsy, like we're up there with the 03 President's Trophy, the 07, 06 teams in terms of win percentage. Like that's kind of crazy to think about. So it's so deserved. I think that's the best word, deserved. To Sens fans out there, obviously respectfully and with a bit of an asterisk beside it, but go be obnoxious, be proud of this team for once, because the years that we spent being ashamed to be a Sens fan, saying next year's the year, maybe the future, the core will figure it out. This is the future now. The future is now, old man. So I'm just excited. I can't wait to ride the wave. It's been a great month, honestly, doing that. And they're proving that they're ready for the challenge. I just can't wait for game 83.
Yeah, and one thing I'll just add too about the ownership change is it's crazy even talking to people that aren't directly involved in hockey, like the staff. Like we've talked to people that work for Sens Foundation. We've talked to people that work in the concession stands, that do 50-50. Even all those people that work in the arena, that have hardworking jobs, that are there for every home game at the CTC, they all say they can feel the difference and the culture has changed. So that just goes to show you that from top to bottom, Michael Andlauer has found the right people for the right jobs and changed this culture for the better. Let's get to some of the superstar questions here. We love our Sens fans in Van. Talk about that Pinto shabby patience. First goal set the tone. Try to make a play. Stop giving the puck up. Love the playmaking confidence. I think we went over that goal, but couldn't agree with you guys more. That is huge for the Ottawa Senators to have that patience and heads up play. Ziz Lives. Hope I said that one right. Add this to the LOSP playoff tickets account. All right. Thank you. 1111. Also, praise Alfie. We're definitely going to stash that one away for playoff tickets. Again, our guys, Sens fans in Van. Zetterlund, I assume, unless that's a new nickname, Zatuned, is the human hitting, puck retrieving, reverse hitting cigarette machine. Wow. How much do the boys love number 20? Jack, I'll throw it to you for that. How much are you loving Fabian Zetterlund so far, even though he hasn't really shown up too much in the score sheet, just that one assist so far?
Yeah, like I think we got lost in a little bit of the conversation. Like Tim Stoslow was fantastic tonight, and if Timmy's looking like that and the other lines are rolling, you can kind of have fun with that line. So to me, it's not Zetterlund's play away from the puck with the puck has been great. I don't think there's been anything wrong with it. And yeah, I want him to score. Do I want him to bury his chances? Do I want that line producing? Sure, but when you think back, and this is no slight to Adam Gaudette, but the games where they were just stapling Gaudette and Highmore to Stutzla's wing come a long way since then. And that was just only a couple of months ago, like a few weeks ago. So yeah, he'll get it eventually. He's going to score a big goal or two for the team. But I like that point because he is a cigarette machine down low. Like you can't take the puck off of him without a battle. And I like the way that him and Stutzla are developing a lot of really good chemistry, which down the line will definitely benefit them.
I like calling them the Swedish snus machine. The snus, those are those little nicotine pouches that the Swedes love so much. So I've been slowly working on that nickname. We'll see if it sticks. Our guy Alex Halleck says, time for the weekend Warriors to rise up again. A win tomorrow would go a long way. Yep, sure, it's a game up against the Pittsburgh Penguins that are down and out of it, but those 2 points, they matter all the same. Our good friend Tails, 45 minutes in the parking lot. They need Sue, referencing our friends Ali, Nick, and the gang that were responsibly parked and not driving while they're doing the postcast. Nothing wrong with that. We appreciate that. Tails again. Captain Jack at the helm. I am the captain now. Jack, let's hear you do a I am the captain now impression.
I'm the captain now. I think I dropped this is a Jack cast when you got out. So I like that. I like just throwing any word in front of cast. But we're gonna hopefully, fingers crossed, 99.4% chance, 0.6% chance. We're gonna call it a playoff cast at some point. So that's fun too. Yeah, but that was
no, Jack, 99.6.
99.6 or 99.6. Okay, great. So there's a 0.4% chance that doesn't happen, according to Money Puck. I'm just finding whatever has the highest odds for the Sens to make it. They're going to make it. They're going to make the playoffs, and we can say the P word confidently, I think, now.
I think so.
I'm so excited, Pilsy. Let's go.
It's going to be a blast. Sens fans in Van, thanks again. Patience on the first Pinto goal set the tone. Yeah, we're with you on that one for sure. Tails, again, fingers crossed Pilsy loses power equals endless stream. I mean, yeah, we've never had that happen before. So all 477 of you guys in the chat right now, you're witnessing history. Ross and I have had the power go out during podcast before, but that's not really a big deal. You just cut that out, you wait for the power to come back on, you edit it in, no big deal, nobody even knows it happens. But live, I believe that is the first time ever. And for people that don't know, a little bit of talking baseball here. So the way StreamYard works, the app we use, is there's a host person, which is always me or Ross. We have the Locked On Senators account, so we do the hosting. And then Jack, Martian, people that do the boots on the ground reports, they are always in as guest accounts. Guest accounts cannot, Jack, I don't think you couldn't have even removed Nick from that stream, right?
No, and I've got a StreamYard account. I just never sign into it. I just kind of click the link.
You wouldn't be able to control this room. That's the thing.
So when you left, I was just like, I couldn't even, and not that I wanted to, but I couldn't even mute them. Like, you know, I was just kind of like, all right, let's have a conversation. So it was really, honestly, when you came back in and left and it was just me, I was more confident or more comfortable because I was like, okay, just talk and kill time.
Yeah.
Rag the puck, ice it, penalty kill kind of thing, right?
Don't change.
When it was me and a group full of rowdy Sens fans in the parking lot of the CTC, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Like, I don't know what to do. So I just got them to yell, go Sens go a couple times.
When in doubt, go Sens go.
Listen, that was fun. I think it's a fun wrinkle to the postcast and indicative of the weather in Ottawa. I keep mentioning it, but I did it for my story today for CTV. Like the weather, it's crazy. So hopefully the Sens can get into Pittsburgh okay tomorrow. That'll be a storyline to follow. It's a quick turnaround.
That is a good point. And then so just to further the story, so then I'm locked out of my host account. I can join StreamYard on my phone as a guest, which you saw me do, but then I still can't control things. So what Tails is saying here is we would not have had a host account to end the stream. Now Ross did. I don't know if he's out for dinner or what he's doing. He's on vacation enjoying
emergency producer.
Down in Arizona, but that's a good producer right there. Notices that it's going on. I sent a message to the group chat. He pulled me in as the host, and then so he would have had to do some behind the scenes producing there. But just You got to, hey, if you want to work in sports broadcasting industry, you got to, and live stream, whether it's TV or online, you got to be able to think on your toes. So we're lucky we have a pro like Jack Richardson here. Ali Dez says 50K chickens, but how many pillsies? Just 2 for there. And believe me, 2 is more pillsies than you want in any given situation. I'll tell you that for free. Justin S. Retribution is in the air. Give me the Leafs for round 1, just for the Sens to end the Leafs era. That is the most likely outcome right now, Jack. I shouldn't say most likely, but as we talk right now, the Leafs are in the lead, 92 points. It's crazy. The top 3 Atlantic teams, Jack, I know you want to get into this, so I'll snap to you for this, but Florida with 91, Tampa with 91, and you were telling us in the group chat, Jack, that there's a lot of crossover between these 3 teams playing each other down the stretch.
Yeah, so the Leafs and Panthers play twice, and then the rest, like the Panthers play the Lightning once, the Leafs play the Lightning once. So I think this win, and if they win tomorrow, it'll just solidify it even more. But the Sens we mentioned it earlier, they're going to come in the first wildcard spot. All, laws stay the same. So what's going to be fun is we can watch 3 teams fight to the death to get the right to play the Sens because they don't want to play each other in the first round, which is completely understandable. I'd be in the same boat. And it's more just a sit back and let's watch what happens. Of course, the Sens and Lightning and the Sens and Panthers play, but the games are still important for the Sens until they get that X beside their name, blah, blah, blah. We all know that. It's all the same. The room can say what they want, but as fans, let's have some fun watching the Leafs, Panthers, and Lightning because we know who we all want in that matchup. I want the Leafs. I think everyone wants a Battle of Ontario. Even Leafs fans, I think, would want that. So that's what hockey wants. You want a Battle of Ontario, Battle of Florida for the Atlantic Division. Be perfect. But I think for the first time, we can actually look at it and not hypothetically and just say, hey, let's just let them figure out who's going to play us and not let's battle to get into a spot to play them. It's a fun position for the Sens to be in.
It really is. Our guy Matthew, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate you. And then Matthew comes in again saying, I said in November we'll be fine. Well, Matthew, you were probably one of the few that in November really thought things would be fine, but good job sticking strong, buddy. Sens fans, they need that. Justin S., again, thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. When Cousins is ready, he's taking Gaudette's spot. Opinions. Jack, what do you think about that?
It's got to be Highmore, no? Like, who's the center on that line? That's the only thing. And I'm not, but I think it's Highmore, but I could see either way. I just don't know who would take faceoffs on that line. And then when you're throwing them out there kind of thing. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure who's going to end up playing center on that 4th line, but if we're sitting here having a debate about who's going to be the 4th line center, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Good problems to have.
One more thing, Nick Cousins, Stanley Cup champion as a healthy scratch. I think he played 1 playoff game.
And I think it was just idea. 1 in the final. Yeah.
Not a bad idea having Nick Cousins in the press box for you in the playoffs. I just want to put that out there just for some mojo a little bit.
That's
maybe, you never know.
I like that one. Do Gary 500. Hope I said that one right. Great game. Great coverage by LOSP. Thank you. A few more games to go and the playoff trout. Go Sens, go. I mean, that's a good one to end off on here. My God, this has been an awesome LOSP Vibecast, Jackcast, pardon me. Geez, it's a Jackcast. Jack and I said before this, hey, let's keep it nice and clean, nice and short, try to aim for half an hour. We are now at the 1 hour mark of this stream when the vibes, and then I think both of us quickly, Jack, were like, it's a Vibecast. Let's see what happens. I don't think either of us anticipated the events that occurred in this one, but it's been an absolute blast. And I'm glad you were here to steer the ship, Jack, because if this had been a solo Pillsy show, and then I would have left and it just would have been that boots on the ground band, I mean, that could have gone completely off the rails. Woo.
Yeah, that was definitely a first. Definitely a first. And hopefully tonight was a sign of more firsts to come for the Postcast and for LOSP. Some playoff casts, hopefully in the future, but just got to soak it in. And listen, like, you never know what comes come playoff time. There could be 4 freezing rain casts in a row for all we know, right? So right now, I think it's just important for Sens fans to soak it in. It's a Saturday night. Enjoy a Sens win. Get ready for tomorrow. Maybe a little bit of a hungover game watch for some people who are at the CTC tonight, at the GCP. Just enjoy it, man. It's a fun ride and 10 games to go with hopefully a few more.
Yeah, so exciting. And last one from Justin S. Go Sens go. Show the biz cut. I'm sure he means the buzz cut. It's getting a little longer here, but still a bit of a buzz cut. Taking care of business with the Tim Stutzla haircut. We love to see it. All right, guys, this has been an absolute blast. For myself, Brandon Piller, for Jack Richardson, the Jack Cast, the captain. Let's get some Go Sens goes in the chat. I think we've had lots of them, but nothing wrong with a little bit more. And then, you know what? Hearing flutes is so nice, but that was over an hour ago. I missed that tune. Let's play Danger Flutes again. This has been another edition of the Locked On Senators podcast, your team every day.